What if I told you men who are addicted to alcohol or drugs for long term are more likely to harm themselves in the future? And guess what? This could be you one day if you don't take any form of action. Okay, so in this video, I'm going to walk you through the practical steps to help you become sober in 90 days or more from alcohol or drug addiction. First of all, I need your full attention to this video. I know it could be a little bit difficult to have your attention to a specific thing on the screen, but please try your best to have some form of focus to this video, and please take action along the way if you want to see life-changing results. This is not going to be some other videos where you just sit here and take notes. This is a real action taking video. And if you follow along, it's going to change your life. So if you don't know who I am, my name is Brandon. I help young men quit alcohol and drug addiction so they don't go through the same pain as I did a few years back. So let me tell you a story. When I was very obsessed with the nightlife culture and, you know, chasing women in the clubs and doing stupid things with my friend, we always ended up going to some form of after party in London somewhere. And it was getting very early in the morning, like 5, 6 a.m. After the after party, we were feeling hungry. I remember we went somewhere to a different location to get some food because there was no food where the after party was. And usually we end up going home. He goes his own way, and I go my own way. But we want to go grab some food and talk to more girls. But I remember when I was getting food and I finished my food, he finished his food. He went home, and I was going to. I was walking towards the station to grab my train to go home, and I went inside this place called Sainsbury's. You might not know if you're not from the UK, but it's basically a place where you buy food and you buy drinks, anything you want. And just roughly, I remember I just for no reason I wanted to start a fight with an employee. I was very intoxicated. I was smoking a lot of cigarettes. I um, I was probably almost, if I had a few more, I'd probably end up blacking out. But I didn't black out that night. But it just like shocked me. It still shocks me when I think about this. But I don't know why I started a fight with this person for no reason. Like, because, when you're intoxicated, you feel like you have a strong desire to do anything. You're very energized, and um, how do I say it? It increases your well-being. That's why people seek for more drink and another drink. And then, yeah, from there, I just moved on. Nothing major happened. Went to the station. I think I waited there for a while for my first train. It didn't come very fast. I hopped on the train. I went home, and I remember I grabbed the Uber because there was no buses to my home, and this made me more angry, and I felt like kicking something. Upon coming home, my mom was still at home waiting for me and my grandma, and both of them were shocked of how I looked. I looked very drunk. I looked um, weak. I smelled like cigarettes, and I came home quite late. Everyone's going to work. I'm coming home from an after party, and I just pretend like everything was okay. I'm not that drunk. I'm just a little bit tipsy. I just had a few drinks. So during that time, I panicked. I was gonna be late next morning to go work. I was working at McDonald's. I was doing full time, shitty job. And I remember next morning I couldn't wake up. I was, sleep deprived. I kept waking up in the middle of the night. And I lied to them saying I was sick. I was not in a good condition to come in. And they were also asking questions like what happened, why you're sick, what sickness you have, etc. They were very curious, and I think they suspected that I was, you know, bullshitting because few times before this, I lied few times that I couldn't come in and I said I was sick. And yeah, so I didn't go to work. I stayed at home. I didn't stay all day in bed. I remember I just, I think I was playing like some video games on PC, and I was watching just bunch of YouTube videos, pretending I'm doing something productive. Yeah, I was hangover nearly whole day. That's pretty much it. That is a story. Okay, so now we are going to begin with the practical steps. The first one is dopamine detox. What is dopamine detox? Well, it is something you restrict yourself from technology to reset your dopamine levels. Usually, that is from social media, TV, stuff like that. When we consume too much of this, content from these sources, our dopamine goes high. And the dopamine that goes high is the bad dopamine. We want to have good dopamine. And this comes from meditation, journal writing, exercising, going for a walk, or even just having a nice conversation with your family. Things like this will increase good dopamine. What we want to do is your action step right now is to minimize social media apps, TV, messages as much as you can. I'm not asking to completely remove all of that right now. Not yet. You can't do that right now. But just minimize as much as you can. This will cut out all of the bullshit that is spreading on these sources. And why are we doing this? Is because it will less likely influence you to go out to places where your friends are in the photos and videos, and therefore less likely to have a sip of drinks or smoke or even take drugs. Practical step 2, visualization meditation. Now, I'll tell you like small story about this. When I was, still going through the degenerate life, I was doing this visualization meditation a few times a week towards my other goals, not just, you know, removing myself from drinking and taking drugs, but the other goals such as becoming lean, passing my theory test, passing my practical driving test. I was able to um, manifest this desired outcome in my head. And because I was also working at a job, I couldn't do it every day. I wanted to do it every day, but I did this few times a week, sometimes 50 minutes, sometimes 30 minutes, and sometimes I do it like in this living room and upstairs. And I will just forcefully um, think about an outcome that I want to achieve, the desired goal. And I was doing this consistently, and at some point, I became it triggered in an emotional response in me. I was becoming like, I don't like to say this, but I was crying. I had tears. Um, like it was joy, joyful tears, and I was happy at the same time because I felt like I was already there in that moment behind the curtains, and it just felt really nice. It it felt like a nice spirit inside of me, So for your action step is do a visualization moment for like between 5 to 30 minutes. Maybe first do 5 minutes, then gradually go up to 10 minutes, then gradually go up to 15 minutes. Sit somewhere where there's no noise and it's peaceful. But you can also do this with music as well, but make sure it's not some degenerate garbage music and like some heavy rap music, something like that. Well, you can use some rap music as well, but not, you know, saying like degenerate stuff like "oh yeah, fuck you, bitch" and all that stuff. You don't want that. Maybe more like house music, techno, trance kind of style music will work fine. Or even just low dopamine, calm, relaxing music. You can find loads on YouTube. So just do that. And first you want to like just relax yourself, make yourself more calm, take a few deep breath, do some breath work first, and then get yourself into that visualization stage where you will specifically you close your eyes doing this, and you will think of an outcome you want to achieve, and that is for you to become free from alcohol and drugs. So you will think that moment in your head, and you not just like think that image, that library in your head, but you will feel like you're already there. You smell it, you feel it, you feel the maybe you're somewhere outside, you feel the cold breeze, going through your skin, and you want to it has to be almost like a dream. You have to be like you're already there, and it might take some time, it will take some practice, but just try doing this few times a week, because I know maybe you're probably working, you go to college, you go to university, you got a lot of stuff scheduled throughout your day. And yeah, just do this as much as you can. So don't skip this. Most people are gonna be skipping this because they think it's some like wishy-washy unicorn stuff. But this meditation kind of stuff, this type of meditation does actually work if you do the right things. And um, if you can, try to force a smile while you're doing it. It really helps, trust me. So yeah, that's your action step. Please do this. Practical step 3. Set deadlines for your goals. When you set realistic goals, where you put a month and a date for a specific goal you want to achieve, and that is for you to become sober, you are more likely to achieve it. You are more likely to work hard for it. You're more likely to be motivated to pursue that goal. And this is what I was doing when I was becoming sober, trying to get lean, trying to pass my driving test, and few other goals on my list. I was setting realistic goals, setting deadlines. Most people in their life, when they set goals, they just set a goal and that's it. But we want to do the opposite of that. We want to set a date and a month, or even put a time when you want to achieve this goal, right? And this is quite powerful, just like we mentioned for the visualization meditation, excuse me. So, your action step for you is get a paper or do this on your notes, Android, iPhone, whatever, and just set the goal, which date, which time, which month you want to become sober. And I promise you, this will increase your chance of achieving this goal so high. So high. Don't make any excuses. Do this right now. Okay, so just quickly, if you need support for becoming sober from alcohol and drug addiction, you can join my coaching community, which is in the top link in the description. And it is only $49 for a lifetime. And it is everything you need to become sober from alcohol and drug addiction, or one of them. I will teach you the exact method to help you becoming sober than any other coaches. You will get weekly coaching, one-on-one coaching with extreme accountability, 24/7 support, brotherhood who are on the same path as you to becoming sober, and many, many more. So if you're interested, you can join by clicking the top link in the description. See you there. Back to the video. Practical step 4. Get motivated by others' journey on becoming sober. Look at others' journey online, or even read books on it, on how they became sober. Learn from them, take advice from them, like from me. And this can inspire you, right? You can understand how it works and learn the knowledge, and even try to watch some podcasts as well. But don't just use it to cope. Make sure you actually take action at the same time. Try to go on a free call with them, message them, push harder, like to go a step further, right? Don't just watch the content. Join their community, even if it's free. And stuff like this will really, really help you a lot along this journey of becoming sober. When I was on the journey to becoming sober, I did whatever it took for me to become sober. I hated the way I was living, drinking alcohol, taking drugs, smoking cigarettes. I didn't like it anymore. So I did whatever it took, even if I had to pay for some stuff. It is your future, right? It is your life. It is the most valuable asset that you can have, and you cannot waste it as a young man. So you need to push harder. So your action step is to look at other people's sober journeys, or on the process of becoming sober, and follow along. Practical step 5. Change your self-image. Now, I will tell you a story, mini story. When I was in the process, of becoming sober, and I had enough the way I was living, I didn't like my life anymore of going out, drinking, taking drugs, smoking cigarettes, coming home very late, sleep deprived, and feeling like shit and very weak, and having shitty friends encouraging me to go to the nightlife culture, and going to shitty nightclubs with sticky floors and cheap, shitty, alcoholic drinks. Some people are gonna, take offense to this and, you know, probably try to disagree with me, but that's a separate argument. But yeah, I didn't like the way I was living. I hated it. And in the moment I was becoming a new person, changing my identity, I was forcefully saying these words in my head. I am a sober person. I am a non-alcoholic person. I am a drug-free person. I am an athlete. Saying all these type of words in my head. And I didn't really write these things down. Maybe I should have, but I was just, turning my other side of my brain off and saying these words, nice, positive words in my head to rewire my brain. And this naturally led me to do good habits instead of the bad habits. So your action step for you is to go on your phone, open your note documents, whether it's Android or iPhone, write some creative words. Maybe you can copy me, or maybe you can come up with your own if you're creative, and Just write these things down, take a screenshot, and put it up as your wallpaper. If you don't want to do it on your phone, do it on paper, put it up on your bedroom wall or where you can see it regularly and you can see it easily, even maybe in the kitchen, or put multiple papers everywhere. Be crazy, be like a psychopath, be like a mad person, and just put papers of these words, these reminders that you can say in your head. This is gonna change you so much. People gonna think this is silly and weird and childish, but these are the same people that are gonna stay the same every single year. But the ones that want to succeed and transform their life, they're gonna do it anyway. So, following this action step, do this right now if you can, or make sure you do it as soon as the video is finished. Please, please do this, even if it's crazy. Practical step 6: physical activity. Now, I always loved going to the gym and working out on other exercises when I was living this degenerate lifestyle bullshit of going out every weekend. I was doing this push pull leg split on some program on my phone, and I remember I was on this calorie deficit diet, which is cutting. I know it's silly of me. I didn't really learn much about what diet I should be on to build muscle and what other things I should be doing to build muscle. I was just going to the gym and just working out. I didn't really push that hard, even though I thought I did, but I didn't. And every single year, I was still the same, you know, same body. I didn't really build any muscle, no newbie gains at all. But because I kept going, I was still consistent. I had the courage in me to keep going like a laser focus. I was slowly going away from the degenerate life, slowly going away from alcohol, but completely quit drugs. If I didn't stay consistent, if I just gave up like most people do when they don't see any results in the mirror, I would have been in a way worse place when I was doing the degenerate stuff. And thankfully, because of the physical activity I was doing, the intense exercises, I was able to become sober. Yeah, there was on some occasions in the bank holiday and New Year's, I was drinking a few glasses of wine, but it was not like I would go out every week or every month to consume alcohol or drugs. And I even completely stopped smoking tobacco, and that includes nicotine vapes and cigarettes. So, yeah, your action step for you is, you probably know what I'm going to say, do some sort of physical activity. Now, I'm not saying to go to the gym, do some weightlifting, or go climb some mountain, or go run for like an hour or something. Just do any form of physical activity, even if it means just doing like few push-ups every day in your bedroom, or do some walking outside your house, even with your family or your siblings or your girlfriend, whoever. Go for a walk in nature, possibly, right? And this is gonna help you a lot, and your body will thank you for it. You're gonna become healthy, you're gonna reduce your blood sugar, and it's just gonna be a better benefit for everything, not just, quitting alcohol and drug addiction. But if you can join the gym, then go for it. That's even better. But, you know, most of the people who are watching this who are addicted are not able to go to the gym. So just do some form of exercise at home or outside. And bro, don't even tell me you're not gonna have time to do any sort of physical activity for at least 30 minutes every day. I know a lot of people have excuses to say, "Oh, I don't have time. I have too much this going on. I have to do this. There's not enough time." They're just making up silly excuses. Look, I know you're in a rut. You're in a very bad place right now in life. You're addicted to drugs or alcohol or even both, whatever. But you can do some sort of small physical activity, just 30 minutes every single day. Make it a routine, plan it out in your calendar, and just switch off your brain. Just do it. Don't even think about it. Just go do it. I know most of us, like doing push ups and, doing maybe like small dumbbell curls. Maybe get like some little dumbbell curls on Amazon and just do like the bicep curls or like hammer curls or something, whatever physical activity you can do. A lot of us like that. So do something like that. Don't make excuses. This is gonna help you a lot. So don't skip this. Don't try to ignore this message because your other side of your brain is gonna make up excuses and want you to fail. It's gonna convince you other stupid bullshit. Don't listen to it. Switch it off and just do what I say. Okay, so that's all the practical steps that I mentioned in this video. If you watched this far and you've gotten some value from it, please do me a favor to boost the algorithm. Leave a comment below your challenges and objections you're currently facing to becoming sober, or what challenges and objections you encountered and how did you handle it when you became sober. So people who read your comments will be inspired and it will benefit them. And another thing is, please send this video to someone who is struggling with alcohol and drug addiction, or one of them. It will benefit them as well. Now, if you need personal guidance and full support throughout your sober journey, you can join my coaching community in the top link in the description for only $49 for a lifetime. Price will be going up very soon. You will get everything you need to become sober, and you will be part of a community who are on the same path as you. You can talk to one another, go on a call with each other, and many, many more. So if you're interested, top link in the description. That's it. Goodbye.